and welcome. In the last few weeks, we've seen an outbreak of farmer agitations from Delhi to Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, Punjab, Haryana, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh. We've seen searing images of farmers' distress, milk and vegetables being dumped on the streets of western Maharashtra. 6 farmers killed by police when a farmers' protest went out of hand in Madhya Pradesh. According to the government, there have been 11,400 farmer suicides in 2016. That is 31 Indian farmers killing themselves a day. Remember, it's been over 50 years since Prime Minister Shastri coined the slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Now, Prime Minister Modi has committed to doubling farm incomes in the next 5 years. But despite these high-level political commitments, progress on the ground has sadly been lacking for decades. And today on We the People, we want to turn the spotlight on the growing rural distress in India. Why are farmers across India protesting? Are their demands valid? And is India's agrarian sector a tinderbox waiting to explode? Well, to try and deepen our understanding of this crisis, on today's show we have Mr. Sardar V.M. Singh. He is the convener of the ongoing farmer protests that have reached the Jantar Mantar in Delhi. He's a farmer himself. From the BJP, we have Vikramjit Banerjee. We have Gurjeet Singh Ujla, a Congress farmer cum MP from Punjab. We have Devendra Sharma, agricultural policy expert, Nitin Desai, economist, former chief economic advisor to, and Apsara Reddy of the AIADMK, which is from the state of Tamil Nadu, which is facing its most serious drought in 140 years. But I want to start by going across to 2 young, brave young women, Pallavi and Archana. They are from some of the worst districts in Maharashtra. They've lost their fathers to the agricultural crisis, and they are really the human face of this farmer suicide, the statistics that we all just bandy about, and we in urban India certainly don't seem to be touched by. Thank you so much. आप दोनों हमारे स्टूडियो में आए. पहले पल्लवी हमें बताइए, आप दिल्ली में क्या कर रहे हैं आप दोनों?
जी, मेरा नाम पल्लवी दिनेश पवार. मैं महाराष्ट्र राज्य से जलगांव जिले से आई हूँ. मेरे पिता ने जैसे खुदकुशी कर ली वैसे कोई किसान खुदकुशी ना करे, और किसानों पर सरकार ने ध्यान देना चाहिए, उनके बच्चों पर सरकार ने ध्यान देना चाहिए, इसलिए हम दिल्ली में आए हैं.
तो आप अभी कहाँ पे रहते हो? आप नासिक में एक आश्रम में रहते हो? आप आपकी माँ के साथ क्यों नहीं रहते हो?
मेरी माँ गांव में दूसरे की खेती में काम करती है, इसलिए मेरे चाचा ने मुझे आश्रम में लाकर डाला. हम नासिक जिले के त्र्यंबकेश्वर तालुके में आश्रम में रहते हैं.
और आपकी माँ अभी तक खेती बाड़ी करती है, तो उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स क्या वही है जो आपके पिताजी के थे? हाँ. कोई बदलाव आई है उनके जिंदगी में?
नहीं.
पल्लवी, आप कह रहे थे कि कोई और किसान के साथ ऐसे नहीं होने चाहिए, किसान के बच्चे के साथ ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. तो आप क्या, जब आप बड़े होगे, आप क्या बनना चाहते हो? क्या आपके माँ बाप की तरह आप भी खेती बाड़ी करोगे?
जैसे मेरे पिताजी ने खेती की वजह से खुदकुशी कर ली, वैसे मैं कभी खेती नहीं करूंगी, और मेरा सपना है कि मैं बड़ी होकर IPS बनूंगी.
और आपकी माँ मतलब आपको क्या कहती है, जब आप बड़े होकर क्या करना चाहिए?
मुझे जैसे 5 साल हो गए मैं मेरे माँ से नहीं मिली हूँ.
अर्चना, आप यहाँ पे क्यों आए हैं?
जय हरि, मेरा नाम अर्चना कृष्ण चौधरी है. मैं महाराष्ट्र से यवतमाल जिले से आई हूँ. मैं किसानों से ऐसा कहना चाहती हूँ कि कोई भी सुसाइड ना करे और हमारे जैसे बच्चों को अनाथ ना करे. मैं सरकार से ऐसा कहना चाहती हूँ कि आप किसानों को, बच्चों को ध्यान देना चाहिए.
आपने अपनी माँ से कब से नहीं मिले हो आप?
7 साल हो गए.
7 साल हुए आपने अपनी माँ से नहीं मिले. Well, this is, I think, an example of where we are today, how we've come so far. What a long journey from 50 years. We've gone from Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan to being no country for farmers, really. Mr. Singh, let me ask you first. You know, the irony seems to be we're hearing about all these farmers' protests in various states across India. This in a year when we're supposed to have had very good monsoon. Shouldn't that have been a year for farmers to celebrate?
It's in front of you. Nasik is the area where you have grapes. It's an area where people were earning good money. So whether good harvest or bad harvest, the point is if you have a good harvest, you have a good return. Production is more. The rates are low. There are no buyers. And if you have a bad season, there's no production, there's nothing to sell. So either which way, the farmer is a loser. It's a losing preparation. That is why you hear that the children don't want to farm in this country. It's supposed to be an agrarian country. There is no insurance cover. There is nothing to protect their interests. That is why today we see farming suicides are increasing day by day. We've had 3.5 lakh suicides in the last 15 years, irrespective of the governments.
So it's a catch-22 situation, you're saying, for farmers, whether it's a good crop or a bad crop. Then let's go across to Tamil Nadu, which is, like I said, has been facing its worst drought in 140 years. We have 60% rainfall deficit. Mr. Ayyakannu, he has been leading the agitation, the farmers' agitation here in Delhi at Jantar Mantar. Mr. Ayyakannu, you've been leading over 100 farmers from Tamil Nadu who've been here in Delhi. They've been having a unique form of protest. Sometimes they're not clothed. They've been putting dead mice and snakes, etc. in their mouths, threatening to drink their own urine. Do you think this is really needed, this kind of dramatics, or are you saying that 31 suicides clearly hasn't raised any eyebrows? So perhaps that's why you need these kinds of protests?
In India, organized sectors they have the full organizations. They join together, they fight. If there will be 100 teachers, 95 teachers join together and fight. If there will be 1,000 bank employees, 995 the bank employees join together. If you have the 1 lakh farmers, we have no finance. If for 1 lakh farmer, only one farmer will come out of the house, come out of the agitation. So that's the reason we are unorganized sectors. So we are not able to fight anywhere. So that's the reason in 1970 the per ton sugar cane is 90 rupees. Then the teacher salary is also 90. They are continuously fighting organized sector. Now they are drawing 46,000 rupees per month. But at the same time sugar cane price is only 2,550. What a pathetic condition for farmers. How can we live in the world? In 1970, the 58 kg of paddy is 40 rupees. Then the bank manager salary is 150. Then the MLA salary is only 250. Now the MLAs are in Tamil Nadu 1,10,000 rupees. But we are getting only 800. But bank manager salary is 88,000. What we can do? So the farmers are always in troubles. Nobody helps the farmer. Only during the election they are saying we are the backbone of the India. After the election they are saying we are the slaves of India. Central government not even given a single paise for us. This year I have borrowed loan from the bank. Our crops are lost. We are unable to repay the bank. So 400 farmers commit suicide in Tamil Nadu. We brought the skull of the farmer also. But at the same time, nobody is bothered about the farmers. Nobody think about the farmers.
Nobody is bothered about the farmers. Let's go across to Apsara. Let's give Apsara a chance to respond now, sir. Because Apsara, first I want to bring up the MLA salary increases. Sure. Like we've said, worst drought in 140 years, 60% rainfall deficit. And in the midst of this, 5 months into your new chief minister's tenure, you've increased salaries for MLAs. You've doubled it. So clearly,
so basically, Sarah, what we need to understand is the government has multiple priorities. Agriculture being one of our primary focuses, and I think Tamil Nadu government has done so much, even in terms of allocation for 2017, 2018 is 7,650 crores for the farmer-oriented welfare schemes. Mr. Ayyakannu will agree that it's our government which bought 15 lakh farmers under the central insurance scheme and paid 240 crores in insurance premium, for which you're getting 15,000 rupees per acre of failed crops. No. Yes. Let me finish. No, let me finish. Let me finish. The drought relief was 2,247 crores that we given out, which is 5,500 per acre for failed crops. So you get the 15,000 from the insurance plus the 5,500 from the drought relief. So we're the only state in India which has an agriculture officer for every 6 villages, and we've always been accessible. Our Chief Minister, Madam Jayalalitha, former Chief Minister, or Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy is always willing to meet you. You're in Delhi protesting against nationalized banks' coercive tactics.
Yes, correct.
So
all right, 1 second. Let's get Mr. Singh verified. Quickly respond.
About Tamil Nadu. This is the answer given in the Parliament on 18th of July 2017. Now, in Tamil Nadu, 953 crore rupees was taken as premium from the farmers for Kharif 2016, which was the worst year in 140 years. What is the compensation given to the farmers? 22 crores. Not even 2% of the premium. So somebody is making 98% there, and you're talking about giving the thing to the farmers. This is exactly what is given in the Parliament. If it is wrong, so be it.
Vikram, we've taken care of legislators in Tamil Nadu and their salaries. Let's look at farmers' incomes. The Prime Minister promised to double farmers' incomes by 2022. Yes. Is this just a promise given with an eye on the voters and not to be taken seriously?
No, not at all. I think all of us know that he's formulated a plan. There has been a task force which has been set up, and there are agricultural policies which are being put in place. Now, the fact of the matter is that there needs to be large-scale infrastructural change, infrastructural investment into agriculture. And the Prime Minister has only had now 3 years. Now, of course, fundamental changes are going to be made, but you will have to give it time, because it's like, you know, as more the
you say infrastructural investments have taken place, but on the other hand, what we seem to be seeing are farm loan waivers instead. We saw that first in UP, and then you have your Maharashtra Chief Minister, who had initially said that farm loan waivers don't work. He used a CAG report to show that the previous government in 2008, when they had a waiver, only 30 to 40% of farmers were helped by this. Yet he went ahead with a waiver. So haven't you just opened up a Pandora's box? How are you going to invest in what you're calling infrastructural investment if you're spending all the money on waivers?
There are 2 or 3 things. Farmers' distress is an issue in the country. Let's not deny it. But the fact is, how do we address it? To solve the entire problem, infrastructural issues will have to be used. Sometimes you may need specific targeted solutions. For that, you have to have through the targeted loan waiver. But this is an issue which has been coming, which we've inherited for 60 years.
Now, let's just go across to Mr. Ujla, since he pointed out that this has been the state of affairs for 60 years. So the fact is, it did start about a decade ago when you had the Congress, the UPA government, which gave that huge 70,000 crore farm waiver. Now you have Punjab, they're also giving stops to farmers. Even though we're saying it's not working on the ground, clearly we've seen because people are still calling in bad loans.
वादा करते हैं इलेक्शन में जाके चोन के दंगल में जाते हैं और कहते हैं कि हम आपका लोन भी माफ़ करेंगे, हम आपको डबल रेट फसल का देंगे, एमएसपी आपकी बढ़ा देंगे, तो फिर हमको वो वादे याद रखने चाहिए। कैप्टन साहब ने वादा किया, उन्होंने सरकार बनते किसान का ऋण माफ़ किया। उसके बाद कल जेतली साहब को भी बोला कि इसके लिए हमें और भी पैसा चाहिए और मदद कीजिए, क्योंकि अब किसान की हालत है। देखिए, किसान एक वो चीज़ है जिसका हर इंसान के साथ डायरेक्टली ताल्लुक है। सुबह आप उठते हैं तो नाश्ते में जो मिलता है वो किसान की फसल से आता है। दुख की बात ये है कि जब वोट का बैंक लेना है तब ये बातें सोचनी चाहिए कि आप 1.5 गुना एमएसपी कर सकते हैं कि नहीं कर सकते।
मगर सर, हमने आपको यहाँ पे बुलाया क्योंकि आप भी फार्मर है, आपको नहीं पता है कि ये जो लोन वेवर होती है शॉर्ट टर्म सोल्यूशन है। जब आप पार्लियामेंट में हो फिर आपको कहना चाहिए डोंट, जैसे इंग्लिश में हम कहते हैं ना, डोंट गिव मी अ फिश, टीच मी टू फिश।
मैं वही बात, मैं आपकी उसी बात पे आ रहा हूँ। हम लोग सब जितने भी यहाँ पॉलिसी बनाते हैं, जितने भी सांसद हैं, एमएलए हैं, सबको पता है दुनिया कहाँ जा चुकी है। हमें टेक्निक चेंज करनी होगी फार्मिंग की। मैं अभी आपको बताता हूँ, पॉली हाउस बनाते हैं, एक अच्छा कंसेप्ट है, लेकिन फेल हो गया। कारण रीजन, आप एक किसान का 38 लाख रुपए उसमें लगवा देते हैं, 50% उस पर सब्सिडाइज है, तो वैसे ही वो तो 20-22 लाख का लग जाता है, तो किसान कैसे उठेगा? जितनी भी सब्सिडाइज पॉलिसीज हैं, आप उसको ध्यान से गोख पड़ताल कीजिए कि उसमें 50% जब सब्सिडाइज आप करते हैं, उससे थोड़े पैसे ज्यादा दें तो आपको बगैर लोन ले वो वैसे ही मिल जाती है।
Mr. Sharma, Mr. Ujla says that हमें techniques बदलने चाहिए. We have to change our techniques. So let's ask you this question. We have a country where 50% of the workforce is involved in agriculture, but one way of looking at it is that only 15% of the GDP comes from this, right? We're getting agricultural productivity is going up. We are able to subsist on the production for food. So why do we need so many people on agriculture? Maybe farmer incomes would increase or improve if we had fewer people working on in agriculture. I just want to play devil's advocate here.
Well, I think this is very interesting because wherever I go, this argument is thrown at us that, you know, we don't need so many people in agriculture. Manmohan Singh used to say that. Raghuram Rajan used to say that. Raghuram Rajan even went on to say the biggest reform in the country would be when we move people out of agriculture into the urban areas. Now, please tell me, we are facing a jobless growth for last 13 years. We have only created 1.5 crore jobs as against 16 crore jobs that we were supposed to create in the last 13 15 years, just 1.5 crores. We have no jobs in the cities, and you want to destroy the jobs that are or livelihoods that are already available in the rural areas. I think there can be nothing more stupid policy than that. I'm sorry for using that word, because our economists come educated from Harvard, from Oxford or so on, and they have no idea what the country looks like. What do you do with 60 crore people? The World Bank in 1996 had told us to move 40 crore people out of rural areas into the urban areas by 2015 in 20 years. 40 crore is more than the population of America. Successive governments are trying to push farmers out of agriculture. They create economical condition so that, farmers are forced to go or leave agriculture, abandon agriculture, go into the urban areas. Now, this is the policies that the government of India is laying out, not this government, but successive government. Now, the question here is, look at the income of the farmers today. The Economic Survey 2016 tells us that the average income of a farming family in 17 states of India, which means half the country, is 20,000 rupees a year. 20,000 rupees a year means roughly less than 1,700 rupees per month. You can't rear a cow nowadays in 1,700 rupees. This argument is completely wrong, because today only agriculture can bail out the Indian economy. Just because Western economists are saying that, we don't have to follow it blindly. Today, if you provide, let's say, more money into the hands of farmers, there will be more demand. More demand means the industry will be revived. That is the way to run the country. You just can't run the country on 1% of the government employees who get 7th pay commission, just 1%, and the industry says it's a booster dose. I can tell you, if you provide farmers with more income in their hand, like let's say the 18,000 rupees which goes into but lowest employee in the government, then I think they look at the kind of demand it will create, and once that demand will create the GDP of the country, it will not be booster dose, it will be a rocket dose. That we are talking about technology. You asked me this question. Can you imagine Punjab? Punjab is what every state wants to follow. Punjab, with highest productivity, with 98% assured irrigation, there is hardly a day when 2, 3, 4 farmers are not dying. That means the problem is somewhere else, and we are trying to cover it up by providing inputs which are not required. So not technology. What we require is more money into the hands of farmers, which means more income in the hands of farmers. So Punjab is the food bowl, and even then we're seeing protests and we're seeing waivers that the government is asking for in terms of agriculture. So that really speaks volumes. But Vikram, respond to that question. The Prime Minister promised, what, 10 lakh jobs a year? They've not even come anywhere close to that. 1.35 is the official amount of jobs created last year. Where are the jobs? And shouldn't this government then be focusing on agriculture then instead?
There are two different questions. I think the first question is about jobs, and that the government is on that. They're trying as much. But again, the model is whether you go by an entitlement model or whether you ensure that people can learn to fish for themselves. But let's come down to agriculture. I don't agree with what Mr. Sharma raised. It's not part of some huge, broad conspiracy and of Western economists to disrupt Indian economy. I don't agree with that. But I think, of course, there has been lacunae in Indian policy framing in relation to agriculture for a very long period of time. The solution, which he says that Punjab is not the answer, it's trivialization of the issue. Because the standard of living in Punjab,
states doing the best in terms of agriculture is also having
standard of living in Punjab is huge, and people aspire to that.
Sorry, Vikramjit, no, one second. Vikramjit, I want to ask you. You say there's been a lacuna and it's been going on for years. So your government decided to just intensify the crisis by then, extending the prohibition of cow slaughter to bulls and buffaloes and others.
I was waiting for that. No, to be fair,
I'm glad you came prepared. We hope you would come prepared, because this is a serious issue. 31 farmers dying a day last year.
Eventually, any debate on the government is reduced to cow slaughter.
I'll tell you why it's reduced to cow slaughter. Because animal husbandry gives an alternative to the farmer, right? It subsidizes their income if you can get milk. It allows you to get money both from your crops, not to be solely dependent on crops. So that's why I answer this question.
I think there are a large number, as I said, there are a large number of questions, there are a large number of issues, there are a large number of solutions, including farming, including possibly moving towards organic farming. And the government has been talking about organic farming, has been working towards organic farming, because as I'm sure all of us know, organic farming therefore has a much better remuneration than plain farming. So this is an entire process. We've gone through this entire process of chemical-based farming for a very long period of time in this country. So it's almost what we've inherited for 60 years. We're just starting from scratch.